every single month, 2 questions get asked online repeatedly that make me crazy.
Question.
Dwight.
Why am I being forced to come in tomorrow and pretend that a website made sales that I made?
Number 1 is, what type of business can a woman start? Number 2 is, what type of a business can a woman start from home? I really want you to expand your thinking. Anything that you are talented at, that you are passionate about, and that you're willing to put a structure behind, you can start that from home.
You want to start a business. How do you start?
So in today's video, I'm going to show you what can create a viable business and how to know which business is right for you. I'm Amy Walker, small business consultant, and I have helped hundreds of small business owners and entrepreneurs get to 6 and even 7 figures in their business, and I know that you can do it too. So here's what we're going to cover in today's video. First, we're going to talk about how to know if your business idea is a viable business idea and what type of business is right for you. Then we're going to cover what are the first steps you need to do in starting your business, and I'm also going to give you 5 business ideas if you just really need some ideas. These are each trending up in demand, and they also have low startup costs, and you don't have to have a lot of education or certification to go into them.
You need supply. You need something to sell.
There is a lot of business advice out there. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, some of it's and I am here to help you navigate this advice and find out what is right for you. When people talk about home-based business, they tend to talk about Etsy shops, they tend to talk about network marketing, and they tend to talk about virtual assisting. I believe the playing field should be so much wider, and I think through this whole pandemic, we've all learned that almost any business can run virtually if you give it the right setup. So while I love the models of Etsy, network marketing, and virtual assisting, I don't want you to pigeonhole yourself into something that may not be a good fit for you. My purpose today is that you are going to expand your thinking, get clarity around whether the idea that's been rolling around in your head is viable or not, and know what you need to do in order to get started.
First of all, you need a building.
There's a lot of business advice out there. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, some of it's And when I hear people talking about home-based businesses, they tend to pigeonhole you into a couple of areas, like an Etsy shop or network marketing or virtual assisting business. And while all 3 of those are good and viable businesses, I think that's a bunch of bleep. While those are all good and viable business models and they may be right for you, that's really limiting your options, and I want you to expand and look beyond, because if we've learned anything through the pandemic, it's that pretty much any business can be run virtually from home if you just create the right structure and have the right tools in place.
Using old-fashioned business methods. We'll see about that.
So first, let's talk about how you know if your business is viable. When I look at business viability, I look at a couple of things. Number 1 is there a need and a demand? Okay, so we got to find demand. Then we have to figure out, do you love the business enough in order to do it? Because you will not love all parts of your business. So do you love what service or product you're providing enough that you will be willing to do the things that you don't love to do? Because in the beginning, guess what? You do everything. Sorry. That's just the way it goes. The third part is that you need to figure out, is this monetizable and is it going to be profitable? So you need to do an analysis of what you can charge, what your costs are going to be, and look at that profit margin and see if the profit margin even makes sense. I had a woman come to me once that she had a business that she was wanting to expand. Basically, she was doing a craft type project at home and she was producing them herself at her kitchen table, and it cost her like $15 to make each thing, and she sold it for $20. You guys, that is not a monetizable, profitable margin, because there's no money to market, there's no money to pay a salesperson, there's no money to pay for production. And when it came to the question of what is this business about? Is it about you loving making the product, or is it about you wanting to sell the product? It was that she loved the process of making it. So that was not a viable business. It was a fun hobby, and it wasn't something that she should pursue scaling, and that was my advice to her. I think she was a little disappointed to hear it, but the numbers don't lie, my friends. So if you'll do that work beforehand, you won't fall in love with something that is kind of doomed to fail from the very beginning.
We do not employ children. We are not a sweatshop, thankfully.
The numbers don't lie, my friend. And so if you'll do this work first, you're not going to fall in love with an idea that is kind of doomed from the very beginning. I think an important question you ought to be asking yourself at this point is, am I cut out to be an entrepreneur? Some people are very risk averse. Some people do not want to put in, it really bothers them to put in long hours and not see them get compensated for each hour that they put in. And some people really, really struggle with overcoming disappointment and failure. All of those don't really work for entrepreneurs. So when people ask me, am I cut out to be an entrepreneur? These are kind of my first level questions are, how do you handle disappointment? Are you willing to hustle in the beginning to build something that's going to pay you over the long haul? Or is that first little segment going to freak you out? And then also, is it the right time? Like if starting up a business and a business failing is going to cause you to be on the verge of like suicide, divorce, depression, then maybe this is not your season and maybe you should study a little bit longer and take more time to get prepared.
In business, image is everything. Andre Agassi.
So what are your first steps in getting started? There's the basics of like setting up your EIN, registering your business, all of that, just basic stuff. What I really want you to focus on in the very beginning is getting to know who your client is and figuring out how you're going to connect with them as leads and how you're going to convert them into your product. The who, the marketing, and the sales. Those are the first three most important things for getting your business to profitability. All the other stuff you can truly figure out as you go. Now, if you really want to start a business, but you're just not sure where to get started, let me give you 5 ideas. Each of these businesses, again, is high need, the need is growing, the cost is low to start up, and you're also not going to need to go spend a lot of time getting certifications or advanced education. The first is online tutoring. There have been a lot of parents that have been trying to be half of the teacher, or kids, in general, I think a lot of kids are a little bit behind and parents are trying to help them get caught back up. They kind of lost a year. So there is a high need for tutoring right now. And guess what? As parents, we are really tired of being the tutor. I celebrated this year when my kids went back to school. I think my kids celebrated as well. And after me homeschooling them for like 18 months, they are excited to learn from someone different. And I am excited to pay someone to help them get caught back up and be where they need to be. The next is a personal assistant. With so many small business owners being now in a different space of they're working at home, they're working at work, and it's like the whole scope of how we work has kind of changed. People are finding that they need more support in a way that crosses barriers. So a personal assistant can help with some of their personal things, can help with some of their business things, and just make sure that they're keeping their life in order so that they can be successful at what they do. Next is a digital content producer. This is something that every business right now knows they need to be online, and so they're looking for people who can do their copywriting, who can edit their videos, who can create their graphics, and make that process of creating consistent content smoother and easier. Number 4, course and community building. I know that course building is hot right now and you're already aware of that. However, I also want you to understand that people are getting tired of just taking courses that have low interaction and engagement because they know that they don't finish them. So when you build a course and you add community building in with it, then you can create something that's going to stand out in a crowded marketplace. Number 5, online conference planner. If you love organizing events, can I just even tell you how many online conferences are going on all the time? I think this week I got invited to speak at 3 online conferences, and I know how much work it is. A lot of these event organizers don't want to plan all of the details. Right there, you could have a model where you're running multiple online events every single month and be extremely profitable. It's a lucrative way to go.
I learned more about business right then and there than business school would ever teach me.
I am committed to helping you grow your business, and I've got 2 gifts for you today. First, I'd love for you to go check out my video, Why Focus on Your Strengths, if you want more breaking down of common business advice to see if it's relevant for you and your business or not. And second, I have an online community where I engage and answer questions regularly, and there are modules that you can go through for free to help you with getting set up with your marketing and your sales. So I'd love to invite you to come and join the community and ask some questions and get some free training. The link is down below. I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave because I know you're going to go make the magic happen and get to work. And while you're at it, go check out that next video.